Code obfuscation in the hacking world refers to the practice of making code intentionally difficult to read, understand, and analyze. This technique is commonly used by hackers, malware developers, and security researchers for various purposes. Here's an in-depth look at what code obfuscation is, how it is achieved, and what its uses are in the context of hacking. What is code obfuscation? Code obfuscation involves altering the code in such a way that its original functionality is preserved, but its structure and readability are transformed into a more complex. This can be done through various techniques that make it challenging for humans or automated tools to decipher the code's logic and intent. Techniques of code obfuscation. 1. Renaming, changing variable names, function names, and classes to meaningless or misleading names. For example, changing calculate sum to A1, B2, C3. 2. Control flow obfuscation, altering the logical flow of the program to make it less intuitive. This might involve adding redundant or irrelevant code, using go-to statements, or restructuring loops and conditionals. 3. Data obfuscation, encrypting or encoding strings and data constants within the code, which are then decoded or decrypted at runtime. 4. Code splitting, breaking the code into smaller pieces and spreading them across multiple files or segments. 5. Inlining and outlining, moving code blocks into separate functions, outlining or merging multiple functions into one, inlining to obscure the flow. 6. Opaque predicates, using conditions that are always true or always false, but are difficult to determine as such through static analysis. 7. Dead code insertion, adding code that doesn't affect the program's functionality but confuses analysis tools and reverse engineers. Uses of code obfuscation in hacking. 1. Anti-reverse engineering. One of the primary uses of obfuscation is to protect code from being reverse engineered. By making the code difficult to read, hackers can prevent others from understanding how their malware works, thus protecting their techniques and exploits from being. 2. Anti-debugging and anti-tampering. Obfuscation can include techniques that make it harder for security researchers to debug or tamper with the code. This can involve detecting the presence of debuggers and altering behavior accordingly, or making modifications to the code extremely difficult. 3. Code protection. For malware authors, obfuscation protects their intellectual property and business model by preventing competitors and security analysts. 4. Evasion of signature-based detection. By constantly changing the appearance of the code, obfuscation helps malware evade signature-based detection systems. Security software that relies on recognizing specific code patterns can be thwarted by obfuscation. 5. Persistence. Obfuscation helps malware maintain persistence on infected systems. By making the malware hard to understand and remove, attackers ensure that their malicious code stays active longer. Examples in the wild. Packers encryptors, tools that automate the process of obfuscation by compressing and encrypting the malware code. When executed, the packed or encrypted code is unpacked or decrypted in memory, making static analysis difficult. JavaScript obfuscation, common in web-based attacks, where malicious JavaScript code is obfuscated to prevent detection by browsers and security tools. Polymorphic and metamorphic malware, malware that changes its code structure every time it infects a new system or after a certain period, making it difficult for Conclusion. Code obfuscation is a powerful technique in the hacking world, used primarily to protect malicious code from analysis and detection. While it serves legitimate purposes in software protection and intellectual property rights, its predominant use in hacking poses significant challenges for cybersecurity professionals. Understanding obfuscation techniques is crucial for developing effective countermeasures and improving defensive capabilities.